Hi, I'm Congresswoman Harriet Hageman. The House of Representatives was busy this week with committee hearings, bill markups, and votes on the floor. I also introduced an important bill to try to stem the tide of the invasion on our southern border. The Visa Integrity Preservation Act, a bill to amend the Immigration and Nationality Act, would close the loophole that has allowed the Biden administration to grant mass amnesty to over 500,000 immigrants who illegally entered the United States or who have overstayed a visa. It would require illegal aliens under all circumstances to depart the United States and to be interviewed before they could receive a non-immigrant visa. It would also prohibit them from re-entering the United States under certain identified circumstances. The Biden-Harris open border policies have allowed over 12 million unvetted migrants to illegally enter our country. Their intentional and blatant refusal to enforce existing immigration laws is well documented in the nearly 100 executive orders issued by President Biden to subvert safeguards and prohibitions against illegal entry, including parole in place orders. Allowing individuals to register for lawful status after already being in America is also a huge incentive for illegal immigration, and exactly the opposite of what the Immigration and Nationality Act intends. My bill will close this loophole and reestablish proper parole procedures. In the House Natural Resource Committee this week, I joined Committee Chairman Bruce Westerman in hosting a historic tribal roundtable with representatives from 5 tribes from throughout the country to discuss healthcare, public safety, and economic development barriers and opportunities in Indian country. Their success at exercising more self-determination when it comes to providing health care to their members is heartening, and I look forward to continuing to work with them further to expand these opportunities. By exercising self-determination, tribal leaders have improved health care, built and supported their economic sectors, and allowed them to implement a more robust and just legal system than the federal government alone has provided. Each tribe has its own unique needs, and the solutions provided locally often are far superior to a one-size-fits-all approach. To the extent that Indian country leaders want to take on a greater role in self-governance, the federal government should not stand in the way. In the Natural Resources Subcommittee on Water, Wildlife, and Fisheries, I had the opportunity to speak in favor of legislation that I introduced to protect the Upper Colorado River Basin Fund. The bill would require the Bureau of Reclamation to analyze the economic consequences of drawing from the customer-funded Basin Fund to implement the experimental actions called for in the July 2024 SEIS Record of Decision, which would result in Reclamation having to incorporate these costs into its annual budgeting. Once again, misguided policy is driving up the cost of energy for Western states, in this case for hydropower. There will be significant costs associated with cutting hydropower generation at Glen Canyon Dam to address smallmouth bass below the dam to be paid for by utility customers. These costs are draining the customer-funded Basin Fund, from which operations, maintenance, and other expenses are paid, further exacerbating the challenge. Taxpayers are again left to pay for the consequences of unsound endangered species and climate policies. As always, I appreciate your support, and I look forward to continuing to serve you. If you would like more information on all of this week's votes, committee hearings, media interviews, and more, please subscribe to my weekly newsletter, The Wyoming Roundup, or follow me on social media at Rep. Hageman. Links to the newsletter and my social media pages are also provided on my website, hageman.house.gov. In closing, I would like to wish a very happy 101st birthday to my wonderful mom, Marion. You are truly an inspiration. I hope that all of you have a wonderful week and a very happy Thanksgiving.